LoveLore Library. Chapter 884. Nan Xian is here. 3 Mu Ling replied in annoyance. No outsider should comment on what concerns me and Sui only. Then, I won't comment. Feng Ruqing smiled. She did not comment anymore. It was because she started to attack him again. Boom. Soon, rocks started falling onto the ground just like a rain of rocks. However, all of it centered around the same target, Mu Ling. It seems that young Manor Master Mu has committed quite a lot of crimes. You're being punished by God. Feng Ruqing's smile deepened. Her smile was so deep that it reached her eyes. It was captivating. But, where did the rocks come from? Feng Ruqing's medium was a world of its own. She could even bring out the houses in the medium when she became a dark warrior. Feng Ruqing's heart fluttered. What if she brought out the divine herbs sect in the medium and smashed Mu Ling to death? But, the manor might not be able to hold it if she really did that. It would totally create great chaos. Feng Ruqing chose to forego that idea after much consideration. She would just use the giant rocks to crush Mu Ling to death. Feng Ruqing. Mu Ling gritted his teeth. He was caught in an awkward position and he tried his best to dodge the rocks. Luckily, his strength was powerful. He could smash the rocks even if he was unable to dodge all of the rocks. What have you done? How did you do that? Did she just move the objects through the open space? But, there are not that many rocks here for her to do that. Boom! Mu Ling was unprepared when a vine appeared from below him. He stumbled and fell down. Mu Ling would never fall into an enemy's trap so easily in the past. But, who would have guessed that there would be vines appearing from underneath him and making him stumble? Moreover, the vines had appeared from underground directly. If it was created in space, he would have felt its presence. But, no one could feel its presence if the vine appeared from underground no matter how strong they were. Mu Ling seemed concentrated. He pulled the vine with great force and it was torn. But, the rocks fell on him at lightning speed. He did not have enough time to dodge them or smash them. So, a rock fell on him and hit his balls hard when he turned around. Me for extra chapters. Mu Ling could hear the sound of his balls being crushed. It was a heart-wrenching pain. His whole body trembled and he drew in a cold breath. God damn it. He would totally kill that young girl even if Sui stopped him and sided with her. I heard that you're infertile now. Feng Ruqing smiled. What's the use of keeping your balls? They're better smashed. Mu Ling crawled up from the ground. He held onto his crotch and his face darkened. He was outraged. Just how badly do you want to die? Suddenly, an endless stream of coldness came from behind him when Mu Ling was rushing toward Feng Ruqing. Soon, Mu Ling's body became like a kite without its string. He flew up to the sky until he disappeared in front of them. Feng Ruqing was speechless. She raised her head and looked at Mu Ling, who had now become a black dot in the sky. Then, she saw a man standing in the glow of the sunset not far away. Actually, Feng Ruqing felt that Mu Ling came that day with some other underlying motives. She did not manage to ask him before he was swept away from them. He might have had a terrible fall then. In the sunset, the man in white was as beautiful as a fairy. His cold eyes were soon filled with gentleness when he gazed at Feng Ruqing. If that man was as cold as snow before, now he was just like the spring breeze. Princess, Qingzhu trembled and stretched its little head from behind Nan Xian. You don't even know what I've sacrificed for you. Qingzhu had sacrificed himself. It had almost lost its innocence too. Shao Qing. Feng Ruqing saw Qingzhu at first glance. She laughed happily. It's been a while since we last met. Why do I feel that you're much better looking now? Your color is much greener. Qingzhu was speechless. It trembled and raised its head. It soon saw that Nan Xian was looking at it. It swallowed its saliva with much difficulty. It's not my fault. Really? The princess said that I'm much greener now. It must be the reason why she noticed me. I did not attract her attention. It's really because of my color. Qingzhu's voice was shaky until the end. It was almost bursting into tears. I heard that there's a worm who adores you. Qingzhu remained quiet. Let's arrange for your marriage when we're back. Qingzhu froze. It was asked to seduce another snake in the past. Now, the master wanted to arrange for its marriage. Master, there's nothing between the princess and I. There were a lot of spirit beasts in the princess manor. Why was the master so resolutely guarded against it? Was it its fault for being green? It was innocent. Nan Xian and Qingzhu are back. Si smiled softly and said, recently, Qing'er needs something to strengthen her body. This snake is quite fine. It could be used for that purpose so that this snake won't kidnap you. Qingzhu jumped down from Nan Xian's neck. It ran away in tears. It could not stay with them anymore. Everybody was bullying it. It wanted to run away from home and never come back to them. Enriching smiled and watched Qingzhu as it left them. After a while, she turned her gaze to Nan Xian. Firstly, did you ask the people from the Divine Herbs sect to cause trouble in Tianshan Manor? Nan Xian was quiet for a while. Qingzhu did that. Did you stalk me? Enriching narrowed her eyes. Nan Xian thought for a while. It was Qingzhu who persuaded me to do that. Did you go to Fengyun Manor and look for me there? That was Qingzhu too. All of those things were done by Qingzhu. Nan Xian was innocent. Me for extra chapters. 1 inch really. Enriching smiled beautifully. Yes, Nan Xian replied, calmly. Oh, it seems that Qingzhu has done quite a lot for me. I need to treat it better in the future. Don't always. Nan Xian pulled Enriching into an embrace. I was just talking nonsense just now. I'm the one who has ordered Qingzhu to do those things. It has nothing to do with those things. Enriching was speechless. How could the state preceptor say something like that so shamelessly? Si felt that her son had changed. He was never that shameless in the past. Suyi. Enriching turned and looked at Suyi. The old master of the Mu family's birthday is coming soon. Do you want to go? Suyi was stunned and nodded her head slightly. I'll go with you. Enriching held her hand. She sounded firm, a smile crept onto Suyi's calm face. The people of the Mu family are wicked and evil except the old master and Xiao Qinyin. Moreover, all of the others are white-eyed wolves. I don't want them to pollute your eyes. Her smile faded when she thought of the incidents that had happened in the past. Mu Ling said that only Qingyan stayed by his side when he was hurt. He did not know where I went. But what he did not know was that my strength was affected when I treated him. That's why he could live. Now, I'm still not fully recovered. Actually, I'm responsible for what happened too. I did not tell him the truth because I didn't want him to feel guilty about it. I have even asked the old master to hide the truth from him. But we met with the enemies of the Mu family when the three of us left Tianshan Manor back then. He only remembered that Chen Qingyan stayed by his side all the time. But he forgot that I was the one who has driven the enemies away. They were able to run away because of that. However, I was badly hurt. I hid for half a year to recover my strength before I could return to the Mu family. The news I received when I returned was that Mu Ling was going to take Chen Qingyan as his concubine. Suyi closed her eyes slowly. She thought that she had forgotten about her past. But she still held a great hatred toward all the things that had happened. She tried her best to recover from that great pain. She would never step into another pit for the rest of her life. Feng Ruqing was quiet for a while. Why didn't you speak up when that bastard was here? You had done nothing wrong. No one has the right to blame you. Suyi looked at Feng Ruqing with a baffled expression. Didn't you ask me to stay away and do nothing? Feng Ruqing was speechless. She realized that her future mother-in-law was quite innocent and naive. That might be the reason why she was easily cheated by Mu Ling in the past. Luckily, Suyi woke up from that illusion. She walked out of that pit. Nan Xian, where did you leave that bastard just now? Feng Ruqing turned to look at Nan Xian. Nan Xian stroked the young girl's hair softly. I left him in a place from where he will need half a month to crawl back here. It had been a long time since Nan Xian was able to stay by Feng Ruqing's side. Surely he did not want Mu Ling to come and disturb them. Qinger, I'm tired. I'll go and take a rest now. Suyi smiled slightly. You stay with Nan Xian. It's much better if you could have a child soon. Little Qing Han blinked. Will that child be as cute as I am? Of course. Suyi pinched little Qing Han's small face happily. Qing Han, which one do you like? A brother or sister? Qing Han bit her fingernails. I want a cute younger sister. I don't like younger brothers. Why? Younger brothers are just too naughty. Younger sisters will be much obedient and nice. But, ill like every child mother has. Then, let's not disturb them. They might be able to have a child soon. Suyi led little Qing Han away. They smiled and walked toward the backyard. Feng Ruqing and Nan Xian were the only ones left in the garden. Nan Xian held out his hands and pulled Feng Ruqing into an embrace. He stroked her head softly. His fingers combed through Feng Ruqing's hair. His breathing was warm. Me for extra chapters. Why did you stalk me but never appeared in front of me? Feng Ruqing raised her eyes and looked at the man in front of her. The man's smile was gentle and warm. You didn't want me to accompany you. If I did appear in front of you, would you have been angry? Feng Ruqing was stunned. Nan Xian had stalked Feng Ruqing secretly because he was afraid that it might upset her if he suddenly appeared in front of her. It was Feng Ruqing who had the intention to sleep with him first. But the one who was careful not to hurt the other's feelings was Nan Xian now. Feng Ruqing was in a difficult position. Nan Xian appeared to be cold and distant when she first met him. It had created a desire in her to tear off his coldness. But he had become a stalker now. I don't want you here because it's a place that only brings back nightmares to both of you. Feng Ruqing raised her head and looked at Nan Xian with deep emotions. It doesn't mean that I don't want you here with me. But I have a very serious question for you. You must answer it. When did you fall in love with me? She could not remember when the state preceptor started to have feelings for her. Love at first sight. Feng Ruqing did not care for that. She was extremely plump when she met the state preceptor for the first time. She did not believe that the state preceptor would fall in love with her at first sight. But the state preceptor had always sided with her even before she became slimmer. So, when did it happen? Nan Xian stroked the young girl's face. Maybe, it all started when I was 5 years old. What? It turned out that Nan Xian had fallen for Feng Ruqing since the age of 5. I met you in my dream when I was 5. In the dream, the young lad's body was covered with blood. Currently, Whenever Nan Xian recalled the moment he looked into the young lad's eyes that were filled with sorrow, his heart was ripped apart. He pulled Feng Ruqing into his arms and held her close. Nan Xian lowered his head to kiss her. Feng Ruqing could feel his cold breath lingering on the tip of her nose, and that did not fade for a long while. Xiaoqing, Guiyi rushed into the manor, excitedly. At that very moment, Guiyi's face stiffened. She saw two people hugging and kissing each other. It was spectacularly breathtaking that even the most beautiful scenery could not compare. The young master was devastatingly handsome. He looked so ethereal and otherworldly. Resting in his embrace was an enchantingly stunning lady in a red robe. Her beauty could bring everyone to their knees. Burning with fury, Guiyi's breathing turned shallow. Xiao Yin is right. Nan Xian is such a homewrecker. He has always been seducing Xiaoqing with his stunning face. It is fine if he loves Xiaoqing wholeheartedly, but he already has Qin Feier. Moreover, the Mu family is a mess currently. What if he breaks Xiaoqing's heart? One Feng Ruqing was so gentle. Naturally, she was no match for those bastards. At this time, Nan Xian glanced at Guiyi, calmly. Although Nan Xian was just randomly looking around, when Nan Xian's eyes met Guiyi's, her body stiffened. It felt as if a chill was piercing into her body, streaming all the way up into her heart from her feet. Go ahead. I am here to take a look. Please ignore me. Panicking, Guiyi rushed out of the manor. She could feel that if she stayed there any longer, Nan Xian would tear her apart. He might even whip her dead body after killing her. Only when Guiyi had left the manor, she calmed down and came back to her senses. Her father, Gu Shi, was the manor master of Tianshan Manor. What was she afraid of? Guiyi was never scared of anything. However, when she saw Nan Xian, she lost her guts. Guiyi did not have the courage to go back. She pouted indignantly as she stared resentfully at the closed gate behind her. Me for extra chapters. Nan Xian is truly a homewrecker. He is too sketchy. I am no match for him without Xiao Yin by my side. Guiyi snorted. Xiao Yin is right. This homewrecker has seduced Xiaoqing with his stunning face. Xiaoqing loved beautiful faces. She has totally lost her mind because of him. Guiyi bit her finger. Suddenly, the image of Qin Feier flashed through her mind. Guiyi could not help getting more and more furious. Xiao Yin is right. Xiaoqing could dump Nan Xian, but Nan Xian could never dump Xiaoqing. Although we want to take Xiaoqing away, none of the ladies out there should catch a glimpse of her. I must think of a way to get rid of the slut, Qin Feier, when I go back. I must not upset Xiaoqing. Just as Guiyi turned around, a familiar figure came into sight. Seeing her, Guiyi's face darkened. And Cuis was standing not far away with a ghastly expression on her face. Her hands were balled into fists, her eyes were burning with jealousy. And Shui had struggled through some dark days ever since she was banished from the chief manor. Currently, she just wanted to take a stroll outside. Perhaps she could bump into an affluent young master and her life would be much better than now. She had never thought that she would bump into Guiyi. More shockingly, Guiyi was so slim now. With a faint smile, Shui walked slowly toward Guiyi. Even if she was jealous, she did not dare to show it on her face. Sister, I feel really bad that I could not make it to your birthday feast last time. I heard that you have called off the arranged marriage with Nan Xian. Shui said softly. Whether or not I have broken off the engagement, what does that have anything to do with you? Guiyi snorted. Previously, Shui was the one who had encouraged Guiyi to look for Nan Xian in Luyun Kingdom. Not only did Shui push her, but she had also even made Feng-Ruching a scapegoat. However, Guiyi could never meet Feng-Ruching if Enchui had never done that to her. Hearing this, Ncui's face changed slightly, but she quickly regained her composure. Sister, Nancian was previously your betrothed. Naturally, I could never fight with you. Now that you have called off the marriage, I want to be Nancian's concubine. Could you help me to get your father to tell young Master Muling? Enchui reached out to grab Guiyi's arm gently. As Nancian was Guiyi's betrothed previously, Enchui dared not make such a request. Since Nancian had nothing to do with Guiyi now, she must seize the opportunity. Sister, I am your cousin. As the saying goes, one should always keep the benefits within the family. You will never let me down, will you? Ncui's eyes were flooded with tears. Guiyi shook off Ncui's hand, violently. She had never felt that tears could be this disgusting before this. Guiyi's reaction caught Enchui completely off guard. Startled, Enchui took a few steps backward. Her eyes were still fixed on Guiyi. Why do you think that Nancian would make you his concubine if my father talks to young Master Muling about it? Guiyi's face darkened. She looked down at Enchui disdainfully. Enchui pursed her lips tightly. Previously, when Enchui was still in the chief manor, the Mu family did not hesitate to make her Nancian's concubine. She did not even need Guiyi's help. Now everyone knew Enchui had been thrown out of the chief manor. The people of the Mu family were very snobbish. Naturally, they would never accept Enchui to be Nancian's concubine. Sister, please help me. You are the only one who can help me. Otherwise, my mother and I will not be able to survive, Enchui cried, pitifully. Oh, if you cannot survive, you could just end your life. If you can't do it yourself, I could help you. Guiyi stared coldly at Enchui. Ncui's eyes widened in shock. She could not believe the things that she had just heard. Enchui was Guiyi's kin after all. How could Guiyi say that to her? The Gu family's guard stared sternly at Enchui. They had unsheathed the swords and taken a few steps forward. Guiyi, you are so ruthless. Seeing this, Enchui took a few steps backward, subconsciously. Her face was ghastly pale. Me for extra chapters. You said you will not be able to survive. I am helping you because you are my cousin. Do you know why I have broken off the marriage with Nancian? Guiyi smiled as he walked up to Enchui. Why? Because he has taken away the lady whom I love the most. Enchui turned her head stiffly and stared blankly at Guiyi's stunning faces. So, why do you think that I would help you? Guiyi's eyes curved into two crescent moons. Although Guiyi had called off the marriage as she felt that the Mu family had deceived her, she would never tell Enchui about this. She wanted Enchui to know that she would never help others to do something that might upset Feng-Ruching. Guiyi. I am your cousin and we share the same blood. Ncui's face contorted with rage. She had stopped pretending to be pitiful. Drain all her blood from her body. Guiyi pouted. Hearing this, Enchui was rendered speechless. You said that we share the same blood, didn't you? When all your blood is drained from your body, I will inject the blood of a different families into your body. Hence, you will not be related to me in any way anymore. Enchui might lose her life. Thinking of this, Ncui's body gave an involuntary shudder. Seeing the two guards walking up to her and holding onto her arms, Enchui was frightened and quickly pushed the guards away. She then pounced on Guiyi and held onto her thigh. Sister, I was wrong. Don't let them drain my blood, I'm scared. Enchui knew that Guiyi had always walked the talk. Enchui, you are part of the En family, which has nothing to do with the Gu family. I will tell my father to send you and your mother back when I get home. Gu Shi had banished Chui and her mother out of the chief manor, but not Tianshan manor, as he wanted to spare their feelings. Hence, they did not suffer from hunger after leaving the chief manor. However, both of them were ungrateful wretches. No. And Chui was getting more panicked. She did not want to go back to that place. She did not want to go back to the dark days. Moreover, Cus mother would be beaten to death. Gu Yi disregarded Chui and left together with the guards. Standing under the setting sun, Chui watched Gu Yi left. She could feel an icy cold sensation all over her body, like she was being dumped into an ice cellar. Gu Yi, you are truly ruthless. You don't even care about your kin. One tears broke free from the corner of Ncui's eyes. Her face was contorted in rage. I will ask others to help me. When I step into the Mu family, everything that you have chosen to let go would become mine. The Prince Charming of all the ladies in Tianshan Manor is mine. Everyone in Mu family was very busy as the old master's birthday was just around the corner. Perhaps Mu Ling did not tell anyone that Sui had returned to the Mu family. Sui's life was peaceful and quiet. No one in the Mu family disturbed her. At the time, Han Feng saw Mu Ling from afar as he limped out of the main hole. Master, you are back. When you were not around in the past half a month, Lady Tan had taken full control of the old master's birthday feast preparation, Han Feng said. Excitement crept into his voice. How could that undignified lady prepare for the old master's birthday feast? Mu Ling's face darkened. Me for extra chapters. Your leg has not recovered yet? Mu Ling asked as he frowned. Han Feng smiled wryly. The other day, Mu Ling had tasked Han Feng to send the bride price to the princess manor. However, before Han Feng could step into the princess manor, Feng Ruqing had thrown him out of the manor. Unfortunately, Nan Xian and Sui had beheld the whole incident. Not only did Han Feng's leg was crippled, he was severely injured. He had been resting in the Mu family since and had only managed to walk out of the chamber today. Hence, Han Feng would never step into Lu Yun Kingdom ever again. Master, it's getting better. Thank you. Are Huaner and Qingyan back? When Mu Ling mentioned Qingyan, his face softened. His face was completely different when he talked about Tan Shuangshuang. Master, Lady Qingyan has tasked someone to send us a letter. She has found a birthday gift for the old master. She may return in the next few days. Hearing this, Mu Ling's eyes were full of tenderness. However, when he thought of how sarcastic Sui had treated Qingyan, his face darkened a few shades. By the way, has Grandmaster Hai Rong left? This was the most important thing now. The old master's birthday was just around the corner. If the Grandmaster Hai Rong was still staying in the Mu family, he might bump into Sui and the lie would be revealed. Chapter 890. The birthday feast is just around the corner for, young master. I heard that the Grandmaster Hai Rong has yet to leave as he is waiting for someone. Hearing this, Mu Ling's face changed. Originally, Mu Ling had gotten Hai Rong to treat the old master, in the hope that the old master would get better before his birthday, even if he knew that Sui would return to the Mu family. The old master's strength had been greatly depleted. Even if the old master could never fully recover, Hai Rong might be able to stop the old master's strength from depleting further. Moreover, Mu Ling knew that Hai Rong would not stay long in the Mu family. However, he had never thought that Hai Rong would stay for such a long time. All right, I hear what you say. Have you sent all the invitation letters out? Mu Ling waved his hands and sank into contemplation. The subordinates had sent out all the letters. Mu Ling knitted his brows together, seemingly worried. When the old master was still in good health, he had acquaintances all over the world, people of Tianshan Manor and other clans. However, ever since the old master's health had declined year after year, those who attended his birthday feast too had declined year after year. That was not all. Many clans in Tianshan Manor were working together to seize the power from the Mu family. Mu Ling could not help but arrange a marriage for Nan Xian in order to maintain the Mu family's foothold in this realm. Although Mu Ling knew that Nan Xian was a rare talent and his strength would be unrivaled someday, that was too long from now. He could not wait any longer. Get someone to inform me when Qin Yan is back. I am going to see the old master. Feng Ruqing and Sui were sitting next to each other, chatting cheerfully. At this time, a familiar voice spoke and broke off their conversations. Young lady Xiao Qing, I am here to see you. Hearing this, Feng Ruqing's face darkened. It turns out that many people like to break into someone else's manor without consent. I must get the snow wolf to guard the door next time. I have been waiting for you in the herb chamber for half a month. I have even asked Yi to invite you, but you did not show up. I really could not think of other ways. Hence, I am here to see you. Qian Kun smiled brightly. He did not, in the slightest bit, feel guilty for what he had done. Oh, I have been too busy lately. I don't have time to go out of my manor, Feng Ruqing smiled as she said. Me for extra chapters. Feng Ruqing was too busy dating Nan Xian. She simply had no time for the old fart, Qian Kun. Ha! Qian Kun laughed heartily. Although he knew that Feng Ruqing was making an excuse, he did not seem to care. I have promised my old friend to introduce you to him. He was supposed to leave earlier, but since I did not manage to see you, I have brought him here. You have even done this without consent. Feng Ruqing's eyes swept past Qian Kun disdainfully. Before Feng Ruqing could respond, the old man who stood next to Qian Kun rushed over and held tightly onto Sui's arm. Exploding with rage, Feng Ruqing's foot shot out to kick him. The old man dodged nimbly, her feet brushed past the old man's ear. However, a gust of wind from her foot had blown his hair into a wild tangle. Qian Kun panicked and stared blankly at the old man. Hai Rong, how could you do this to a lady? Even if this lady is pretty, you must not do that. You have ruined my reputation. Qian Kun brought Hai Rong to see Feng Ruqing, but he had never thought that Hai Rong would do something so rude to a beautiful lady. Hai Rong was truly shameless. Xi stared blankly at the old man before her. The old man looked familiar to her, but she could not recall where she had met him. You are Mu Huan's master, Hai Rong. Feng Ruqing narrowed her eyes. Hearing Feng Ruqing, Hai Rong had finally regained his sense. However, he did not look at Feng Ruqing. Hence, he did not notice that Feng Ruqing's face had darkened. You are right. Mu Huan is my disciple. Feng Ruqing grabbed Sui's hand, drawing her back, and was blocking the old man from seeing Sui. Feeling a little awkward, Hai Rong coughed gently. Hai Rong was too excited just now. It was natural that Feng Ruqing kept her guard up against him. Lady, do you remember me? Hai Rong turned to look at Sui with a smile on his face. We used to discuss medical skills on the Divine Cloud Mountain. It has been nearly 20 years since we met. You still look exactly the same as you did. I could recognize you at first glance. I heard that you are married now. How are you doing? Where is your husband? Why is he not here with you? Sui stared attentively at Hai Rong. After pondering for a long while, she could finally recall who this old man was. Oh, it's you. It's been more than 20 years. You looked a lot older. I could not recognize you just now. Hai Rong was dumbstruck by Sui's words. Sui still looked as young as when they first met, but Hai Rong was old. His beard had turned gray. Both of you know each other. Qian Kun felt immensely relieved. He thought that Hai Rong was so shameless and was coming on to Sui. Fortunately, it turned out that they knew each other. Otherwise, he would not have known how to straighten this out. Is she your daughter? Hai Rong looked at Feng Ruching with a smile on his face. Qian Kun has always been complimenting young lady Xiao Qing. Hence, I am here to see her. Lady, I did not think that you would become a mother so soon. Your daughter is so outstanding. Is she betrothed to anyone yet? I know many talented young masters. Sui already felt a little uneasy meeting an old friend. When she heard Hai Rong's words, her face darkened a few shades. She quickly grabbed onto Feng Ruching's arm, drawing Feng Ruching next to her. Me for extra chapters. She is my daughter-in-law. Hearing this, Hai Rong's smile stiffened. He was actually poaching Sui's daughter-in-law before her. Cough. Cough. Well, I didn't mean it. I had no idea that she is your daughter-in-law. Hai Rong coughed and smiled awkwardly. No worries. I trust you. However, my son may not trust you. Sui gave Hai Rong an elegant and carefree smile. Mu Ling and Qing Yan have missed you. They talked about you some time ago. Now that you are back, why don't you pay them a visit? How long do you plan to stay here this time? Why don't we go for a walk in the Divine Cloud Mountain? We are old friends, after all, you haven't visited me since you got married. Hai Rong's eyes went round as he quickly changed the topic. As Hai Rong had no children, he had always been living a carefree and unrestrained life until he met Sui. Sui was young and smart back then. Hai Rong had treated her as if she was his own daughter. Otherwise, he would not have taken Mu Huan as his disciple to repay her kindness. As soon as Hai Rong finished speaking, the smile on Feng Ruching and Sui's faces faded. As Sui had a good upbringing, she did not show emotion on her face. However, she wanted to throw Hai Rong out of the manor. Grandmaster Qian Kun, please show him out of here. Chapter 892, Hai Rong's agitation. 2. Did I say something wrong? Hai Rong's face stiffened. Young lady Xiao Qing, may I know the reason why? The corners of Qian Kun's lips lifted a little. When Feng Ruching knew that Hai Rong was Mu Huan's master, she did not like him as she did not like anyone associated with Qin Qingyan. However, since Hai Rong was Sui's old friend, she thought that Hai Rong was different from the people of the Mu family. Little did she know that there was no difference. On top of that, Hai Rong had actually stood up for them. It's because Sui would never return to the Mu family. The people of the Mu family had hurt Sui so badly. Why must Sui go back to the Mu family? Dumbfounded, Hai Rong stood there on the spot, unsure of what to think. Hearing Sui's name, Qian Kun stared at Sui's elegant face in shock. Back then, when Qian Kun came to the chief manor, Sui had left the Mu family. Hence, he had never met Sui. However, he would never forget her name. Young lady Xiao Qing, you must tell me why you want me to leave. Otherwise, I will just stay here and you must give me a treat. Hai Rong's voice trembled. Hai Rong. Qian Kun's face changed. He quickly tugged at Hai Rong's sleeve. Just say it. Hai Rong glared at Qian Kun. Her name is Sui, what's wrong with that? Sui. The name of the young lady of the Mu family is Sui. Qian Kun wanted to punch Hai Rong's head. Hai Rong realized what was happening. He turned his head around, stiffly, his body stiffened like a stone. You are Sui. Your name is Sui. Hai Rong stared blankly at Sui. Hai Rong, you said that she is your old friend, but you don't even know her name. Qian Kun smirked. It was true that Hai Rong did not know Sui's name as Sui had never told him. Hai Rong had always been burying himself in the art of healing. Hence, he had never asked Suyi's name before. Hai Rong knew Mu Ling's name as Mu Ling had told Hai Rong that since the first time they met. What? She is Suyi. She is the young lady who left the Mu family. Hai Rong's old face was ghastly pale. His body was so icy cold that even the sun was not capable of warming him up. Hai Rong, you really? Qian Kun stared at Hai Rong. A look of shock and disbelief crept into his face. Me for extra chapters. He really doesn't know her name. I owed you a favor back then. Mu Ling came to me together with Mu Huan and asked me to take her as my disciple to repay your kindness. Chen Qingyan had told me that you are her sister and Mu Huan, your niece. I really had no idea that you are the young lady of the Mu family. Hai Rong's quivering hands balled into fists. As Hai Rong was burning with anger just now, he had lost his senses. It was Qian Kun who had woken him up. Hai Rong had finally realized why Feng Ruqing wanted to chase him out of the manor. If Hai Rong were Feng Ruqing, he would have beaten himself to death, too. Feng Ruqing had treated Hai Rong with courtesy and respect because of Suyi by asking Qian Kun to take Hai Rong away. Mu Ling. Chen Qingyan. Hai Rong clenched his fists tightly. His face was contorted with a furious rage. You bastards! How dare you lie to me? Hai Rong owed Suyi a favor, but not only did Mu Ling drive Suyi away because of a concubine, but the concubine's daughter had also even taken away something that belonged to Suyi. It was all Hai Rong's fault. Chapter 893, Hai Rong's Agitation 3. Back then, Mu Ling and Suyi were constantly together, just like peas and carrots. Hai Rong did ask Mu Ling whether Suyi was Mu Ling's wife. Although Mu Ling did not deny it, he did not admit it either. Hence, Hai Rong had thought that Suyi was not Mu Ling's wife. Since Mu Ling treated Suyi so well and Suyi had relied on him, even if they were not a couple, they must be siblings. Hence, Hai Rong had never refused Mu Ling's requests. Hai Rong trusted Mu Ling so much. He had never thought that Mu Ling would deceive him. This is utterly ridiculous. Hai Rong let out a boisterous laugh, which was filled with anger. Mu Huan's medical talent is average, but she has no talent in cultivation. Since I have taken her as my disciple, I must guide her properly. I have given her so many spirit herbs in order to improve her strength. Hai Rong hid the fury in his eyes as he spoke. In the end, it turned out that Hai Rong had put so much effort into the wrong person. Although Mu Huan is haughty, it is not something awful. I am no different. That's how the people out there think of me after all. She does not have any other bad traits besides that. She is the only one by my side in the Divine Cloud Mountain all these years. She has been staying with me for more than 10 years, but her parents are annoying. Mu Huan was just a kid back then. If she had no idea what her parents were doing, Hai Rong would not blame her. However, if she was part of the sham, no matter how many years she had stayed with him, Hai Rong would never forgive her. Qian Kun merely sighed. Before that, Hai Rong had always stayed in the mountain alone. After taking Mu Huan as his disciple, Mu Huan had been keeping him company for over 10 years. Hence, it was natural that Hai Rong could not bear to part with Mu Huan. No matter how much Hai Rong disliked his disciple, having stayed together for such a long time, he could hardly leave her behind. However, if Mu Huan had been deceiving Hai Rong, then she had ulterior motives staying with him. No matter how much Hai Rong cared for Mu Huan, he would never forgive her. Suyi, I have always been on the mountain and was not aware of the things that happen here. However, if anyone does anything wrong to you, I will avenge you. Hai Rong stared at Suyi apologetically. Hai Rong was reluctant to part with Mu Huan as she had been accompanying him all these years. However, Hai Rong cared, pitied, and admired Suyi. Knowing that Suyi had gone through a lot of struggles all these years, he felt bad for her. Moreover, Hai Rong owed Suyi a favor, but he had actually repaid her kindness to those who hurt her. There is no need. I'm back here because of the old master's birthday. Moreover, the people of the Mu family think that I am a good-for-nothing and always mess with my son. They have even hurt Qing'er. There are certain things that I must do on my own. Suyi smiled gracefully. Me for extra chapters. Besides, I am here because of Nan Xian and Qing'er. No one will be sticking their nose into my son's marriage. Qing'er is my only daughter-in-law. Initially, Suyi had cared for Feng Ruqing as her son was in love with her. Suyi would accept whoever her son fell for. However, as time went by, Suyi was growing increasingly fond of Feng Ruqing. Since you are here, I am not going to leave anytime soon. Hai Rong sank into silence. What? I have been staying on the mountain all these years. I can hardly tell if someone is true to me. I want to see Mu Huan's true colors as she has always been by my side all these years. Hai Rong smiled wryly. A look of resolute determination crept into her eyes. Hai Rong, you must not trust someone too much. Have you forgotten what had happened back then? Qian Kun smiled wryly. Hai Rong would not have vowed never to heal anyone if not because of something that had happened back then. As the saying goes, one would never know if the person he treated was indeed a human or a demon. Suyi, I owe you an explanation on this. Suppressing his fury, Hai Rong stared deep into Suyi's eyes and then turned to walk away. Qian Quan cupped his hands in respect and rushed after Hai Rong. Watching Qian Quan and Hai Rong leaving, Feng Ruqing narrowed her eyes and sank into contemplation. It seems that Mu Ling is true to Qin Qingyan. He has left all his principles behind because of her. Suyi's smile was as graceful as a gentle breeze. At this time, Feng Ruqing regained her focus and turned her head to look at Suyi. She heaved a sigh of relief when she noticed that the anger in Suyi had faded away. It seemed that Suyi had truly let go of Mu Ling. True love is mutual affection between two persons, and no third person is allowed to step into a relationship. Apparently, if a third party could easily break into a relationship, that is not true love. Just let him go. We shall see how long their relationship will last. Feng Ruqing smiled. If Mu Ling truly loved Qin Qingyan, he would never have brought Tan Shuangshuang back to the Mu family. Would you mind if I ruin the Mu family's reputation? Thinking of Tan Shuangshuang, Feng Ruqing looked at Suyi in her face. The Mu family is the old master's painstaking effort. Perhaps you should ask the old master. The old master and Xiao Qingyin had wholeheartedly taken care of me when I was in the Mu family back then, Suyi replied, stunned. Although Suyi disliked the people of the Mu family, the old master was part of the Mu family after all. Suyi could not bear seeing the old master suffer. Moreover, the old master's health was declining. If Xiao Qingyin helms the Mu family, then don't ruin it. However, if Mu Ling is at the wheel, it would not be too late for you to do anything you want after I get Xiao Qingyin and the old master out of the Mu family, Suyi said with a faint smile on her face. The old master of the Mu family was poor in health. Xiao Qingyin was no better. If the two of them continued staying in such a toxic place, they would die from anger. Feng Ruqing had nothing to do with the Mu family. She did not even care if the Mu family's reputation was ruined. However, she cared for Suyi. She would never do anything that could hurt the things that Suyi cared for. The old master's birthday is just around the corner. Nan Xian and I will go to the Mu family together with you. Me for extra chapters. Actually, you don't have to do that. Will you curse anyone? Feng-Ruching asked. Sui shook her head. Will you hit anyone? Feng-Ruching continued asking. Sui pursed her lips together. Sui would hit Muling and Qin Qinyan. However, she would not lay a hand on the rest. Well, that place is like a dragon's pool and a tiger's den. It's full of danger. You will definitely get hurt. Hence, Nancian and I will never let you go there alone. Moreover, I want to know how many of them had laid a hand on you back then. I will get Gui to bring a book along to jot down their names. Feng-Ruching reached out to stroke Sui's face. Feng-Ruching's words warmed Sui's heart. Alright, even if there were a dragon's pool and a tiger's den ahead of us, we are a family and we shall face it together. Outside Tianshan Manor. A couple stood together high up on Cloud Mountain. The young master was incredibly handsome with heroic bearing. He looked extremely imposing and domineering. The lady standing next to him was devastatingly gorgeous. Her beauty could bring everyone to their knees. Chapter 895, Hai Rong's Plan. The lady bore some semblances to Feng-Ruching. Her faint smile shone as brightly as a moon. Yenner, I have prepared the gift. Shall we get Great Elder Lei Yun to send it to Tianshan Manor? Feng Tianyu turned his head sideways. The old master's birthday is coming soon. We must not sit back and do nothing. No one is allowed to look down on my daughter. Get Great Elder Lai Yun to send the gift to the Mu family personally. I want everyone to know that Nailin Yan's daughter deserves everything she wants. The corner of Nailin Yan's lips lifted. Naturally, Nailin Yan did not want any young master to take Feng-Ruching away. However, since Feng-Ruching had fallen for Nancian, Nailin Yan knew that she could never keep her daughter by her side forever. Nailin Yan must accept Nancian. Unfortunately, as Nailin Yan was away for years, she did not know much about the things that had happened. She had only learned about Nancian's background from Great Elder Lei Yun. Hence, she knew what exactly the Mu family was. That rascal Nancian is so lucky to have my daughter. Since he is part of the Mu family, why did he come to Luyun Kingdom to be the state preceptor? He has even taken my dearest daughter's heart away. He must have fallen for Qing'er since a long time ago and has purposely gotten into Luyun Kingdom to take Qing'er away. Feng Tianyu was a little annoyed. He felt that Nancian had deceived him. Feng Tianyu trusted Nancian so much and had thought of getting Nancian to take Feng-Ruching as his disciple. Feng Tianyu had even made Nancian a state preceptor, but it turned out that all these while, Nancian only wanted to sleep with Feng Tianyu's daughter. No one in this world could tolerate this. Tianyu, Fengyun Manor is no match for Tianshan Manor now. However, it will surpass Tianshan Manor one day later. Nailin Yan held on to Feng Tianyu's hand. Tianshan Manor commanded the loftiest power in this realm as it had been established 1,000 years ago. On the contrary, Fengyun Manor was just established a few decades ago but had already made it this far. Nailin Yan must make Fengyun Manor more powerful so it could be Feng-Ruching's strong backing. Tianyu, we must go to Tianshan Manor. I have been searching for our son ever since I left the Divine Herbs sect. I have seen some progress back then. Now, I can confirm that our son is associated with the Tianshan Manor. However, I am unable to get the person who took our son away. Nailin Yan sneered. Me for extra chapters. Previously, Gu Zhenyang had taken Nailin Yan away right after delivery, but she had managed to escape from the Divine Herbs sect. As Nailin Yan missed her family so badly, she returned to the palace. However, she could only find Feng-Ruching in the palace. Her son was missing. It was then, when Nailin Yan had built Fengyun Manor. She had tasked the people of Fengyun Manor to look for her son. Unfortunately, before she could find her son, the people of the Divine Herbs sect had attacked her. She was severely injured and Tang Luo had brought her back to the Tang family. If not for Tang Luo, perhaps, Nailan Yen would have found her son. Fengyun Manor would have surpassed the Mu family. Her son would not be still missing and no one would look down on her daughter now. Read more chapter on novel full. Every time Nailan Yen thought of Tang Luo, a deep resentment crept into her heart. Yenner, everything is in the past now. Our family has reunited. I believe that our son is still safe and sound. Feng Tianyu felt bad for Nailan Yen and held her close in his arms. Nailan Yen held back the resentment in her heart since Tang Luo died a miserable death. She must learn to let go. Chapter 896, Hai Rong's Plan 2. I understand. Now the only thing that I am thankful for is that you are still here and that's enough. In Paramount. Jiu Ming was leaning lazily on the back of the chair that he was sitting on. A woman was respectfully standing in front of him. It is the Mu family's master's birthday in a few days. Feng Lan, send a congratulatory gift on behalf of Paramount. Jiu Ming smiled, evilly. In Feng Ruking's name. Feng Lan was stunned. In the prince's name, or, no. It should be in Paramount's master's name. Feng Lan was speechless. Young master, are you sure that Princess Feng Ruqing will not be angry if she knows that you have forced the title, Paramount Master onto her? Feng Lan was a little silent. After a while, she said, recently, the people of the Mu family have been wandering outside Paramount. If you do this, the people might find out that the spirit herb dish was provided by the princess. You don't have to worry too much. It will be fine as long as we deny it regardless of their guesses. You just have to let the people know that little Qing'er is Paramount's master. Jiu Ming stood up from the chair lazily. Little Qing'er went to Tianshan Manor this time. She would definitely attend the Mu family's master's birthday feast. How can I not support her? Fengyun Manor's name was obviously not enough to make Mu Ling uncomfortable. What if Feng Ruqing also held the title of Paramount's master? Did Mu Ling not come to Paramount for divine physician Qing Xian? He would not tell Mu Ling that Feng Ruqing was divine physician Qing Xian. The entire Paramount belonged to Qing'er. However, if Mu Ling was nicer to Qing'er earlier, naturally, he would have easily found divine physician Qing Xian. Read more chapter on novel full. As for the gift, you can pick something from the spirit herb chamber. Don't be too stingy. We are going there to support Qing'er. Young master. Feng Lan glanced at Jiu Ming hesitantly. You care about the princess so much. Why don't you go there in person? Because I'm afraid that I won't be able to control myself from taking her away from Nan Xian. Jiu Ming's fingers stroked his lips. He smiled. After all, little Qing'er is too attractive. I need to spend a lot of energy to hold myself back from snatching her away. This was bad. His little Qing'er would definitely get angry. Feng Lan lowered her head. Young master, I understand. Young master was so infatuated in Feng Ruqing. But he was still one step later than Nan Xian. The princess already had someone who she liked. Empress Nailan and Feng Tianyu were so affectionate. Their daughter would also be very loyal and affectionate. Therefore, it was impossible for Feng Ruqing to love another person other than Nan Xian. Me for extra chapters. If young master was unable to stop loving Feng Ruqing, he would be very lonely. The birthday feast organized by the Mu family is bound to not be peaceful. Jiu Ming's smile was unfathomable. When little Qing'er gives anyone a tough time, you don't have to say much. You just need to remember those people's names. Yes, young master. Feng Lan bowed and left. Jiu Ming gazed out of the boathouse. His eyes were gloomy and the lightning birthmark under his eyebrow looked even eviler. If I can't take her away, then I will be her family. I'd like to see how many people at the Mu family will bully her this time. Inside the inn, Mu Huan stood in the room nervously. She looked anxious. She always thought that Master had already left. She did not expect him to be here, and it seemed that Master was in a hurry to find her. Master, my mother and I went to find a birthday gift for grandfather. I could not serve Master well during this period. Are you blaming me for that? Chapter 897, Hai Rong's Plan 3. Mu Huan had always looked superior and untouchable in front of others. She could only be like a normal student with good behavior and a clear voice while facing Hai Rong. Hai Rong did not like living in the Mu family's manor, so he had always lived in the inn. He would only go to the Mu family when he needed to diagnose the old master. Huaner. Hai Rong slowly turned around. He spoke softly, the girl to whom I became indebted to back then, is she really your mother's distant cousin? Why didn't she return during the old master's birthday? I heard your mother say that your father had always taken good care of her. Hence, your father appeared with her in Divine Cloud Mountain that day. If that was the case, she should have come back for the old master's birthday. Mu Huan looked a little hesitant. Why did Master suddenly ask about that woman again? Moreover, Master had always admired Sui. Why did he sound like he was criticizing her now? Mu Huan had always felt that something was wrong, but she could not sense anything from Hai Rong's tone. He seemed to be really defending the old master. Well. Mu Huan pursed her lips. She is my aunt. As for why she didn't come back, I don't know. Maybe the Mu family is not that important to her. Who knows? Hai Rong's heart sank a little. He had never heard anything about Sui from Mu Huan. Everything he knew about Sui was from Qin Qingyan and Mu Ling's mouths. Therefore, he just wanted to know if Mu Huan would tell him the truth this time. Yet, Mu Huan still let him down. Read more chapter on novel full, Huaner. I have also heard that Mu Ling once had a wife called Sui. Hai Rong slightly frowned. Why have I never met her at the Mu family? Mu Huan started to be slightly vigilant. She became more and more anxious. She would definitely stigmatize Sui if it were in the past, and she would have then made Master dislike the woman. However, her anxiety did not let her explain that fact. She said, vaguely, I was not quite sure. I was not born yet when she left. Hai Rong was a little confused. Me for extra chapters. Mu Huan had never met Sui. Then did it mean that Mu Ling and Qin Qingyan had not only deceived him but also Mu Huan about the distant cousin? Did they fear that Mu Huan would accidentally spill it out? Even though Hai Rong was questioning many things in his heart, he was a little cold to his apprentice, Mu Huan. After all, Mu Huan became his apprentice through deception. He was reluctant to let her go because she had accompanied him for many years. Nonetheless, Hai Rong still did not directly ask everything. He smiled. I'm just a little curious because I heard Mu Ling mentioning Sui. Huaner, just forget it, you did not get to see her anyway. By the way, I am planning to attend the old master's birthday feast since I'm not leaving yet. Do you know what the old master likes? Mu Huan's heart was shaking. Father once said that Sui would return to attend the birthday feast. Therefore, she must not let her master stay. Her father had given her a task this time when she came to meet Hai Rong. She must persuade her master to leave Tianshan Manor and never let him meet Sui. Actually, Mu Huan had always thought that Master would not abandon her even after he got to know about all these. However, many people would be attending grandfather's birthday feast. That was why such a scandal must not be revealed at such times. If other people knew about it, the Mu family's reputation would be ruined. Master. Mu Huan smiled. She held Hai Rong's arm. Aren't you worried about those spirit herbs in the back hill? How can I trouble you for my grandfather's birthday? Besides, you are very famous among people. I'm afraid that those people might come and bother you instead of congratulating my grandfather. Master, you always know that I decided to become your apprentice because I admire you. My father has never once thought of using your name to enhance the Mu family's reputation. Furthermore, I will not allow such things to happen. Chapter 898, Hai Rong's plan. For Hai Rong smiled a little. No problem. I don't care about that. I can't just leave after arriving here. I will leave after the old master's birthday. Master. Mu Huan panicked. She dared not show any expression on her face. But the spirit herbs on the back hill would be eaten by the spirit beasts if no one is looking after them. Hai Rong was feeling uneasy and she had basically determined that his guess was right. Huaner, why are you stopping me from joining the old master's birthday feast? Is there someone whom I can't meet there? A clear panic could be seen in Mu Huan's eyes this time. Even if it was just for a second, Hai Rong could still clearly see it. Master, how could there be anyone whom I don't want you to meet at the birthday feast? Mu Huan smiled. She then said kindly, I'm really asking because of the spirit herbs on the back hill. Master has always looked after the spirit herbs well. Didn't you mention that there were a few spirit herbs that would mature soon? I fear that the spirit beasts would fight over them. Master has initially wanted to go back before they mature, right? Mu Huan paused. So how can I bother you for grandfather's birthday? What she said was reasonable. It was as if she was really thinking about Hai Rong. Hai Rong's eyes sank a little. He stared at Mu Huan for a while before he burst out laughing. You're right. The spirit herbs on the back hill are about to mature. I should go back. Huaner, you don't have to escort me this time. You shall return to Divine Cloud Mountain after the old master's birthday. Yes, master. Mu Huan's flustered heart finally relaxed. It seems that master really does not know about Sui. As long as the two of them do not meet, mother's lie would not be detected. Read more chapter on novel full at least, the two of them must never meet each other at the birthday feast. Huaner, I'm a bit tired. You shall go back and prepare for the birthday feast. If I can't make it to the feast, I will definitely send a big congratulatory gift to the old master. He purposely aggravated the word big with a gentle smile. No matter how cunning Mu Huan was, she was still too young. Even if she had sensed that something was wrong at first, how could she have won against an experienced old fox? I thank you on behalf of my grandfather. Mu Huan left with a cheerful smile on her face. Me for extra chapters. Hai Rong's face turned cold after Mu Huan had left. He clenched his fists tightly. Everyone knows that I am Mu Huan's master. Mu Ling knows that I don't like fame and fortune. I hate those who value fame and fortune. He dares not ask me to do anything for the Mu family, but it doesn't mean that he will not use my name to do other things in the future. Mu Ling and Chen Qingyan have treated me as a fool. Mu Huan also did not tell me the truth. This time, I'll let everyone know that I will cut off my relationship with the Mu family. He did not like fame and fortune and also detested deception. He could not forgive anyone who had cheated him regardless of who he was. The old master's birthday feast was coming and Tianshan Manor was busier than ever. The old master had made many friends and it was normal for many people to join him in celebration. However, that was in the past. After the old master had taken ill, those people had disappeared and had never shown up even once. It had never been so lively like today for a long time. Even Mu Ling was a little surprised. He had only regained his senses after he heard Han Feng's report. Those people have decided to come because they heard that Grandmaster Hai Rong is at the Mu family. They want to take this opportunity to build connections with Grandmaster Hai Rong. Grandmaster Qian Kun is at the chief manor. Those people could not approach him. However, Hai Rong also does not value fame and fortune at all. Therefore, he is even more difficult to approach. Mu Ling was a little regrettable. It's such a waste. Hai Rong's name can be used anywhere. If only he is willing to help the Mu family, I don't have to ask Nan Xian to return and arrange the marriage for him. We have Grandmaster Hai Rong with us. We don't have to fear that those families would not unite with the Mu family. Chapter 899, Birthday Feast. Nonetheless, Hai Rong did not value fame and fortune and hated those who coveted those. Han Feng, you may leave. Many people are attending the old master's birthday feast. We must ensure that nothing goes wrong at such times. Yes, young master. Han Feng clenched his fists respectfully and walked out of the hall with a limping foot. It did not take long for Mu Huan to walk in from the door after Han Feng left. She was very cold and proud while facing her father, unlike the kind and approachable girl in front of Hai Rong. I've already gone to master. He will leave in the next few days. Mu Huan's face was dark. But I think master may already doubt what you and mother have said. Mu Ling's heart suddenly trembled. He stood up instantly. What did you just say? Has Hai Rong started to doubt us? Yes. Mu Huan slightly nodded. Father, you should tell master the truth after grandfather's birthday. I think he may know about it sooner or later. Mu Ling was holding his fist tightly. No, you can't let him know. Otherwise, everything will be ruined. Father. Mu Huan's face was dark. Do you think that the 10 years that I have spent with master was not as valuable as the few months that you and Suyi spent together? If you do this, it will make me think that Suyi was the reason for what I have achieved so far. I obviously rely on my own strength. What is Suyi? Slap. Mu Ling was angry and slapped Mu Huan's face fiercely. Mu Huan's entire body froze. She raised her head in disbelief. She was shocked and very disappointed. Father had never touched her since she was a child. Now, he was hitting her for that woman. In his heart, was that woman more important than his daughter? Read more chapter on novel Fu Huaner. Mu Ling looked at Mu Huan's cold face. He felt guilty. I didn't mean to hit you. Even if Suyi has done something wrong, she is still my wife. You should not talk about your elders like that. He could blame Suyi. However, Huaner was young. The young ones should respect the elders. Me for extra chapters. Mu Huan smiled sarcastically. Father, it was mother who looked after you when you were sick. Nan Suyi ran away with another person and disappeared for a month. Later, it was mother who had protected you when you were being hunted. However, Nan Suyi had already fled and left you two behind. Mother has done so much for you and Nan Suyi has done nothing. Why do you still prefer Nan Suyi more? Huaner, you weren't like this before. Why did you become so aggressive after leaving the Mu family only for a few years? Seeing that his well-behaved daughter no longer existed, Mu Ling's heart slightly sank. He felt the pain in his heart. He immediately regretted it after slapping her. Huaner was still his daughter after all. She was being protected and raised well since young. She had never been wronged once. But he hit her. Mu Huan sneered. I just can't stand to see what you have done to mother. You love mother because she was more obedient than Nan Suyi. Mother allowed you to marry more wives and did not complain about anything. You are still not satisfied after having mother. You have even married Tan Shuangshuang and brought her into the Mu family. Father, how can you make me respect you? If you want me to respect you, it's easy. Just drive Tan Shuang out and announce to the world that Nan Sui is no longer your wife. You can say that she has a relationship with another man. Chapter 900, Birthday Feast 2. Only with this, Master could thoroughly see what kind of person Nan Sui was. Even if everything was not revealed in the end, Master would only be angry that he was blinded and would never blame Mother for this. Mu Ling's eyes flared with anger again. But after seeing Mu Huan's stubborn face, he finally relented. I will not do such a thing. Not only because Sui would never do that, but also that the Mu family's face is not allowed to be discredited. Announcing that Sui was in a relationship with another man. The shame was still his, Mu Ling. He could not afford losing face like this. Moreover, although Sui would no longer forgive him, she would not accept other men so easily. Mu Ling was still very confident about this. Mu Huan straightened her sleeves fiercely. Without saying a word, she turned around and left. In the Mu family, there seemed to be a terrifying storm. Chen Qingyan had come back one day later than Mu Huan. She hurried to the old master's courtyard when she returned. However, she was told that the old master had already moved out of the courtyard. Her face suddenly changed and her eyes were gloomy. Who allowed you to let father move out of the courtyard? Did you treat the old master harshly when I was not around? The people shivered. They kneeled down in a row with fear in their eyes. Read more chapter on novelful Lady Qingyan was not like Lady Sui. She always had a good temper. This was the first time she had become angry. The weight of the old master in her heart was obvious. Qingyan, me for extra chapters. A gentle voice came from behind. Mu Ling's anger toward Mu Huan had disappeared immediately when he saw Chen Qingyan. He said tenderly, "What happened? Why are you losing your temper when you have just returned?" He believed that Qingyan was not a person who was easily provoked. Someone must have provoked her. Brother Ling. Chen Qingyan was in tears. She sobbed. I have only just left for a while. Why has the old master moved to second brother's courtyard? Oh, regarding this matter, Mu Ling shook his head with a grin. Somehow, the old master had always been asking to move out. I couldn't stop him, so I agreed to let him move out. You can follow him if you want. Chen Qingyan's face was a little pale. No, absolutely not. The old master must come back to the east courtyard. He should never leave the east courtyard. Brother Ling. Chen Qingyan lowered her head with tears in her eyes. The east courtyard is a place suitable for healing. I am saying this for the old master's sake. Furthermore, I have planted many spirit plants and placed them around the courtyard to help to enhance the old master's recovery. Second brother's courtyard is not bad, but after all, it is a bit remote and unsuitable for curing illness. How could you agree with the old master? Although she was criticizing him, Mu Ling's heart softened again because he could see that Chen Qingyan was really concerned about the old master. Qingyan, the old master can be very stubborn at times. I can't do anything. I will persuade him when I have the time. He is my father. I can't be too tough on him. Sometimes, Mu Ling was still a filial son. However, he valued fame and fortune too much. He dared not let the people know that the old master's strength was getting poorer. Chen Qingyan panicked and pursed her lip tightly. But, Brother Ling, my father's birthday is coming. Just let him stay there for the meantime. I will try to get him to move back after his birthday is over. I know you said all this for my father's sake. Even though the old master is now living in second brother's courtyard, you can still go visit him. Second brother will not dare to stop you. Chapter 901, Birthday Feast 3, Alright, I'll listen to you, Brother Ling. Chen Qingyan lowered her eyes, covering the coldness in her eyes. It seemed that Mu Ling was not very reliable this time. She must let the old man move back to the eastern courtyard. Mu Ling suddenly thought of what Hai Rong had once said. Qing Yan, Grandmaster Hai Rong said that we should not visit father so often now in order not to provoke him. You may go to visit him when he gets better. Mu Ling felt a headache when he said that. He knew that his father did not like Qing Yan, but he did not expect his father to hate her this much. At first, Qing Yan had insisted on taking care of his father. However, his father had always disagreed. Qing Yan had almost fainted while kneeling outside the door on this matter. He decided to let her make the medicine and gave the only spirit herb to Qing Yan due to her filial piety. He had always thought that his father would always accept Qing Yan over time. If anyone said this to him, he would have ignored them, but it was from Hai Rong. He had always believed in Hai Rong's words. Chen Qingyan raised her pale face and seemed devastated. Her soft body was shaking, her face was full of sorrow. Does my existence irritate the old master? She said with a bitter smile. I thought that as long as I was good to the old master, he would accept me someday. Mu Ling felt a pain in his heart. He held Chen Qingyan in his arms, tightly. Qingyan, it is not your fault. It was the old man himself who cannot see your kindness. Everyone in the Mu family knows that you treat him well. How can it be your fault? Brother Ling. Chen Qingyan took a bracelet out of her bag and put it in Mu Ling's hands. He smiled bitterly. This is what I found when I went out this time. Let the old master wear it. The level of his strength will be concealed with this. Then, others will not know that the old master's strength is declining. She turned and walked out of the courtyard after she had put the bracelet in Mu Ling's hands. Mu Ling held on to the bracelet tightly. He felt guilty while staring at Qingyan's figure when she left. After all, he had still made Qing Yan sad this time. Where is the old master now? My lord, the old master has never come out of the courtyard, the guard responded, respectfully. Me for extra chapters. Mu Ling held the bracelet in his hand, tightly. He no longer spoke and then turned to walk toward the courtyard. In the Mu family, the courtyard was the only place that was tranquil. Mu Ling could see the old master sitting on the ground, watching the ants move from a distance. He frowned angrily. Father, what are you doing? The old man snorted. Even the ants are so united, why is my family like a heap of loose sand? Father. Mu Ling was in pain. I don't know why you hate Qing Yan so much. Hasn't she done enough for you? You are so stubborn. You wanted to move out of the eastern courtyard. That was fine with me. I have let you do what you wanted. You are my father. I can't do anything to you. However, can't you just be nicer to Qing Yan knowing that she's my wife? The old master lifted his head and asked, stiffly, did you say Chen Qingyan? Isn't she dead yet? Father. Mu Ling's face darkened significantly. He did not understand why the old man could easily accept Sui but was so cruel to Qing Yan. The past was the past. Why should they keep holding on to those unhappy moments? Hai Rong said that Qing Yan should not often appear in front of you in order not to provoke you. Do you know how sad Qing Yan was when she was told that? She has always thought of you and is so filial to you. Can't you just be nicer to her? Chapter 902, Birthday Feast 4, She is a wicked woman. She wanted to kill me. The old master snorted softly. Anyway, I will hit her every time I see her. If you speak up for her again, I will hit you too. Mu Ling's face darkened. This old man was really unreasonable. Qing Yan was so kind to him. However, he wronged her by saying that she wanted to poison him. Father, I tolerate you because you are my father. I had even asked Qin Yan to be patient with you, but you can't ignore her kindness. I will let you live with second brother for a few days. Please move back to the eastern courtyard after your birthday. Please don't let her down again since she is working so hard to please you. You said that Qin Yan wanted to poison you. Alright, I won't let Qin Yan prepare your medicine next time, lest you misunderstand her again. After that, Mu Ling turned away with a contorted face. He was afraid that he would quarrel with his father if he stayed there. The old master stared in Mu Ling's direction. He was a little aggrieved. Butler, will Sui come back this time? Will she return with my grandson? The butler moved toward the old master and sighed softly. Yes. Oh, Mu Ling has bullied me and shouted at me just now. He's a jerk. I'm going to tell Sui and let her have at him. The butler was silent for a while. You can hit him back, old master. No, no. I'm not the kind of person who will hit people. I have a good temper. The butler was speechless. Don't you feel guilty of saying this, old master? Nonetheless, the butler knew that every time Qin Yan appeared, the old master would be irritated. He would scold and beat her. If someone stopped him, he would beat that person too. When Qin Yan did not show up, the old man would not get sick so easily. Old master, you hate Qin Yan so much. Are there any other reasons for hating her? The butler was doubtful about this. In the past, although the old master did not like Qin Yan, he did not hate her to such an extent. When did he start to be like this? Me for extra chapters. Apparently, it seemed that he had started to hate her just before Lady Sui left the Mu family. Why? I don't really remember, the old master stared blankly. I have always felt that I have forgotten a lot of things lately. If this goes on, will I forget to eat too? The butler said with sympathetically, Old master, it doesn't matter. I will remember to feed you. Oh, right. Little Qing Yin should be attending school, right? Have you registered him for school? Old master, second young master is almost 30 years old now. Is little Qing Yin almost 30? Time passes so fast. I remember that he was only this big before. Old Master Mu gestured with his hand as if he was in deep memories. Back then, he was always following Sui around, especially when she was pregnant. Little Qing Yin was obviously in poor health, but he was like a little guard protecting her. By the way, where is Sui? Where did she go? The butler sighed. Lady Sui has left the manor. She will be back in a few days. Good, good. I thought Sui was driven away by that bad woman. Luckily, she will return. The old man smiled. The butler became sadder. The old master's memory was worsening. He always forgot that Lady Sui had run away from home. He often thought that the second young master was still a little young boy in his 20s. How could it go on like this? Perhaps, Lady Sui and Nan Xian were the only ones who could comfort the old master now. Chapter 903, Birthday Feast v. Lady Qin Yan. At the Mu family's courtyard, a guard came in hurriedly and walked toward Qin Yan. A girl named Enchui who wants to meet you. Qin Yan narrowed her eyes. Enchui. The manor master's niece. She heard that Enchui had been kicked out of the chief manor. Now, why had she come to the Mu family to see her now? Go and bring her in. Yes. The guard heeded the order and backed down. After a few minutes, a beautiful girl came in, led by the guard. Young lady in. Qin Yan smiled politely. You have come to see me. What's the matter? Enchui seemed very well behaved and walked up next to Qin Yan. Everyone at Tianshan Manor knows that Lady Qingyan is the one who is managing everything in the Mu family now. I have come because I wanted to ask for something, Lady Qingyan. Chen Qingyan glanced at Enchui, suspiciously. What do you want? Lady Qingyan, I want to be Nan Xian's woman. I am willing to be his concubine. Enchui understood that it was impossible for her to become Nan Xian's wife due to her identity. She was satisfied as long as she could enter the Mu family. Me for extra chapters. Chen Qingyan slightly a little. Young lady, I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not Nan Xian's biological mother. He will not listen to me. Lady Qingyan, although Nan Xian is not your biological son, you are the one taking care of the Mu family's affairs now. Enchui smiled flatteringly. Your power is greater than the young lady of the Mu family, Lady Sui. Of course, you have the right to decide his marriage. Young Master Nan Xian is not that disobedient. Chen Qingyan's eyes darkened. You have to insist that Nan Xian has slept with you. You will have to lose your virginity just in case they find out that you were lying. Otherwise, I have no other ways to let you enter the Mu family. Chen Qingyan's method was really cruel. She not only wanted to force Nan Xian to marry a woman that he did not like, but she also wanted everyone to know that Nan Xian was being played by the woman. It was really miserable. And Chui was startled. What if Nan Xian refuses to admit it? Chen Qingyan smiled. It doesn't matter if he does not admit it as long as the world believes it. Brother Ling is always afraid of losing face. He will definitely force Nan Xian to accept you. And Chui looked up and saw Chen Qingyan smile. She was a little flustered. However, she understood that it was the only way. If she did not listen to Chen Qingyan would not help her again. Chapter 904, Birthday Feast 6. I understand. And Chui bit hard on her bottom lip. I will do as Lady Qingyan said. At this moment, Enchui was blinded by her inner desires. She obviously did not think it through. Even if she entered the Mu family using this method, she would never be able to approach the godlike man in her life. Perhaps Ncui's purpose was not Nan Xian, she might just want to live a good life. She would do whatever it took in order to join the Mu family. Chen Qingyan's smile slowly faded after Ncui's departure. She tightened her grip around the glass in her hand. Her eyes were dark and terrifying. It's normal for a man to have 3 to 4 wives in this world. When Brother Ling wanted to take me as his concubine, Sui had done so many things that hurt us. Hence, I will let your son become the kind of person that you hate the most this time. She had met Brother Ling long before Sui did. Why did Sui step in and steal the person she liked away from her? During the birthday feast, if Nan Xian accepted Enchui obediently, then she would just forget it. If he dared to refuse, she would taint his reputation and make the world cast him aside. Chen Qingyan ordered her servants to leave her and Enchui alone before Enchui was brought in to meet her in the empty and quiet courtyard. She took a sip of tea and sneered. Tan Shuangshuang, come out now. Tan Shuangshuang was very unhappy. She came out from behind the tree. Her pregnant stomach that was already showing a lot was like a needle that stung Chen Qingyan's heart. Chen Qingyan. Tan Shuangshuang was angry. Why was Chen Qingyan the only person that Mu Ling cared for so tenderly? But she would be punished whenever she made a mistake. However, when she thought of the conversation between Chen Qingyan and Enchui just now, she blinked a few times. Young Master Nan Xian. Why did this name sound like the state preceptor's name? It might have been a coincidence. How could the Mu family's young master become a state preceptor in Luyun Kingdom? Did you eavesdrop on our conversation just now? Chen Qingyan tried hard not to look at Tan Shuangshuang's belly. Me for extra chapters. That growing belly seemed to remind her time and time again that this woman had once slept with her husband. Tan Shuang snorted. I will tell Mu Ling. Chen Qingyan sneered. Do you think he will believe in what you say? In this world, Mu Ling only believes in me, whether you believe it or not. If you dare to say more than you should, I will not let you have your child be born. Her eyes were filled with murderous intent. Tan Shuang was a little flustered. She gritted her teeth, suppressing fear. She then turned toward the backyard. Wait until Chen Qingyan gives birth to a son for Mu Ling, by then, she would make her suffer as she had done to her. Tan Shuang's figure went farther and farther until it disappeared under the sunset. Chen Qingyan could not control her feelings anymore. She grabbed her chest tightly as tears flowed down her face. Tan Shuang's presence was like a thorn in her flesh, hurting her. Even breathing was a little difficult. So, you can also feel the pain. A cold and calm voice that was filled with irony and contempt spoke from behind her. Chen Qingyan wiped her tears off and sat on the bench looking pale and weak. When you were with my brother, my sister-in-law felt the pain just as you have, Mu Qingyin said, expressionlessly. A wife usually can't accept her husband sleeping with another woman. You, yourself, hate Tan Shuang this much. Why makes you think that my sister-in-law must accept your existence? Chapter 905, Birthday Feast 7. Chen Qingyan bit her bottom lip. I don't hate Tan Shuang. Second brother, I don't understand why are you always attacking me? Because you have driven my sister-in-law away, Mu Qingyin said only that before he left. Chen Qingyan smashed the glass in her hand fiercely. Her face was somber and distorted. It was Nan Sui again. That was the case with the old man, as well as second brother. Why were these two people protecting her so much? Did they ever wonder why the whole Mu family disliked Nan Sui? If Nan Sui was good enough, it would not have been like this. These two people were blinded. They still wanted to protect a jealous woman although they were brotherlings' relatives. Chen Qingyan's tear-stained face grew colder and more terrifying. She would let Mu Qingyin understand that she was more suitable to be the Mu family's daughter-in-law than Nan Sui, one day. At the birthday feast, there were many people in the Mu family's courtyard. Even the relatives of the Mu family who rarely showed up came out to entertain the guests. Elder Mu Xing, will Lady Sui come back to attend the old master's birthday feast this year? Mu Xing said with a fake smile, I'm not very sure about that. She has not returned since she left. She did not even visit the old master knowing that he is very sick. This time, I think she might hear the rumors saying that Huaner would be returning with Grandmaster Hai Rong. That is why she might be willing to return. Unfortunately, Grandmaster Hai Rong has already left a few days ago. This young lady of the Mu family has really misbehaved. It is normal for the excellent young Master Mu to have concubines. All the childish acts are too overdramatic. The old master has treated her so well before. She has not even returned to visit him once. She is really a white-eyed wolf, me for extra chapters. Isn't that so? Another elder sneered. Nan Sui has always been bullying Qingyan back then. Luckily, Qingyan has a good temperament and a good personality. She did not care much about it. It is impossible for another woman to have such a good temper like Qingyan's. These elders were the old master's brothers and cousins. They had the right to speak in the Mu family. So, people would always believe in their words. Everyone felt sorry for Chen Qingyan. Although Sui was Mu Ling's wife, her status was higher than Qingyan since Qingyan was just a concubine. However, Sui, as a woman, should not be arrogant and she had no right in stopping Mu Ling from having other wives. Everyone was dismissive toward her behavior. She was just an orphan. I wonder where she had gotten the courage to behave like this and has even taken away the flesh and blood of the Mu family, Nan Xian. Nan Xian is the young master of the Mu family. His surname should be Mu. She has not only taken him away but has also changed his surname. When Siyi and Mu Ling were still in good terms, Nan Xian's name was actually Mu Nan Xian. However, before leaving the Mu family, Siyi had left a note saying that from that day onward, Mu Nan Xian no longer existed in this world. Since then, Nan Xian was only known as Nan Xian. Such behavior from a woman was not allowed in this world where the wives must obey the husbands. Therefore, Siyi had to bear a lot of notoriety. Mu Xing slightly smiled. The butler quickly snatched the desserts from the old master. Master, you have to take care of your image. Lady Siyi and young master Nan Xian will be returning soon. You must take care of your image. Fortunately, all the guests present were busy talking. Hence, not so many people had seen the old master's behavior. Suddenly, silence fell. Everyone's eyes turned toward the door in astonishment. There was a beautiful woman standing next to Qinli and Wenyu. The woman was as beautiful as Shi Shi, one of the renowned beauties in the world. She had an elegant smile on her face. Her face was slightly pale due to her poor health. Is this the young lady of the Qin family? Well, she has grown into a beautiful woman. Chapter 907, Birthday Feast 9. The person who is able to marry a beautiful lady like Qin Feier is blessed. It is not an exaggeration to say that she is the prettiest in the world. Tianshan Manor was extremely huge. Tianshan City was the most prosperous place in the mainland. Other than that, there were other towns too. Many of the guests present there came from afar. On Gui's birthday, only the forces from Tianshan City were invited. Other forces were not qualified to participate. Thus, not many people had seen Qin Feier's current appearance. Qin Feier was indeed the #1 beauty in Tianshan Manor before Gui had lost weight. Her beauty made others feel like protecting her. But these words were embarrassing for Qin Feier today. She clenched her fists so hard that she barely smiled. Feier. Chen Qingyan stepped forward and held Qin Feier's hand kindly. She smiled. It's really hard for you to come and participate in the birthday feast since your body is weak. Qin Feier smiled and reciprocated Chen Qingyan's action. Aunt Yen, how can I not attend the old master's birthday just because of that? You are really a good child. Chen Qingyan laughed lightly. It's a blessing for the person who marries you. Everyone was quietly making guesses in their hearts looking at their intimate behavior. Is young Lady Qin entering the Mu family? Lady Qingyan is so kind to her. Maybe young Master Mu Shi is marrying her. Young Master Mu Shi. It is unlikely to be him since he is so cruel to women. How could a fragile lady like Qin Feier bear his torment? I think it should be young Master Nan Xian. Lady Qingyan had always regarded Nan Xian as her son. It is normal for her to be intimate with Qin Feier for Nan Xian's sake. Yes. It must be young Master Nan Xian. No one would reject a fragile beauty like Qin Feier. Nan Xian is a perfect match for her. A burst of ironic laughter was heard among the guests. Who is that Lady Qingyan? She is just a concubine. The crowd became silent, instantly. The wives present were disdainful of Chen Qingyan when they saw their husband supporting Chen Qingyan. No wife would like her husband to take a concubine. Unless the concubine was the wife. Me for extra chapters. Of course, a concubine who had become the principal wife would also not want her husband to take other concubines. How could a wife stand her husband sleeping with another woman? They just did not have the courage to stand up against their husbands. They did not have the same determination as Sui. Hence, they could only hide their tears quietly. No matter how the concubine was loved, she was still a concubine. There was no concubine who dared to address herself as the main lady except Chen Qingyan. Chen Qingyan's face turned pale. She turned to look at the lady standing among the guests. Those who could speak in the Mu family must be of high status. This lady was the daughter-in-law of Grandmaster Qian Kuan. Grandmaster Qian Kuan had no children, but he had a godson. Although his godson was not often in Tianshan Manor, he came to participate in the birthday feast since he was around this time. Great job, that is well said. The old master stood on the chair laughing and applauding. That's right. I have only one daughter-in-law, which is Sui. Who is this bad woman? She will have to go when Sui is back. Ha ha ha. At this moment, everyone looked the old master with sympathetically. They did not know what had made the old master's health even worse recently. He was getting more and more confused. Qin Yan had borne children for Mu Ling. Yet, he still wanted to drive her away. Chapter 908, Birthday Feast X. How could the old master be so ruthless? It's nothing. Seeing that Mu Ling was about to lose his temper, Chen Qingyan held onto his arm as she shook her head and smiled wryly. Brother Ling, don't worry about me. Today is the old master's birthday. Don't lose your temper because of me. I am nobody. You don't have to defend me. Clenching his fists tightly, Mu Ling was getting angrier. His cold gaze was fixed upon the lady who was speaking just now. Initially, everyone was staring at Chen Qingyan. Now, everyone looked at the door. Who is this young lady? Why have I never met her before? Why is she here in the chief manor? The manor master has gotten another wife. Previously, Qin Feier was the most beautiful lady in Tianshan Manor. Now, she is no match for this young lady at all. She is so stunning, I like her. At the door of the banquet hall, Gu Yi walked in after Gu Shi with a smile full of subtle charm. When Gu Shi heard the chatter, his eyes lit up, his gaze swept across the crowd. When he saw the face of the young master who was speaking just now, the light in his eyes faded instantly. Pfft! You have such a hideous countenance, how dare you peep at my daughter? You aimed for something out of your league. You are seeking your own demise, aren't you? She is Gu Yi. The person standing next to the young master nudged him, lightly. Who else could stand next to Gu Shi other than Gu Yi? Although the young master was not allowed to attend the feast in the chief manor, he heard that Gu Yi had lost weight. Hearing this, the young master's face changed. A look of shock and disbelief crept into his eyes. Gu Yi, the 250-pound lady, had actually turned into such a stunning beauty. Perhaps many of the people had never thought that the gorgeous young lady was Gu Yi. The whole place sank into silence. Gu Shi paid no heed to the people around him and walked toward the old master of the Mu family. Old master, initially, I did not intend to come to the Mu family. However, no matter what the people of the Mu family have done to me, I respect you. Bring the gift to the old master. At your command. The guard of the chief manor handed over a box of spirit herb, respectfully. Me for extra chapters. The butler who stood next to the old master received the box on his behalf. This spirit herb could enhance your health and prolong your life. May you live 1,000 years. Gu Shi smiled faintly. If one wished a cultivator to live 100 years, he was, no doubt, cursing him. A cultivator could live more than 100 years if he was healthy. The more powerful a cultivator was, the longer he could live. Only an ordinary human who was not capable of cultivating would wish someone to live 100 years. Thank you, Manor Master. This old butler would like to express my gratitude and appreciation to you on behalf of the old master. A mixed feeling crept into the butler's heart. The old master's strength had greatly declined. This spirit herb was indeed a great gift to the old master. The butler could not help wondering if Grandmaster Hai Rong told Grandmaster Qian Kun about the old master's health condition. Otherwise, why would Gu Shi give this spirit herb to the old master? Chen Qingjian's hands balled into fists. The old master had truly lost his senses because of his poor health. Usually, the old master would get Mu Ling to accept the gift on his behalf. Gu Shi had actually given the gift personally to the old master. Lady Qingyan, we are giving a grade 6 spirit herb to the old master as a gift. As the old master is not feeling well, young Master Mu, please accept the gift on the old master's behalf. Please simmer this spirit herb for the old master. When you smiled. Chapter 909. I agree to this marriage. Although Mu Ling was annoyed, he simply could not do anything to Gu Shi as he was the manor master. Thank you, Lady Qin. Hearing Wen Ye's words, Mu Ling's face shifted as he smiled faintly. You're welcome. That's what I should do in view of the relationship between the Mu family and the Qin family. In other words, Wen Yu was actually telling everyone present that the Qin family and the Mu family were connected by marriage. Gu Shi's cold gaze swept past Wen Yu as he quickly turned away. He pulled Gu Yi's arm and drew her back to the seat. I thought young Lady Mu and Nan Xian would be back by now. Why are they not here yet? Young Lady Mu is such an ungrateful wretch. The old master had treated her so well, but she has taken his kindness for granted. She has never returned to the Mu family for years for his birthday. Currently, the banquet hall was abuzz with chatters. Since Siyi is back in Tianshan Manor, why is she not here yet? Mu Ling frowned. His stunning face took on a ghastly expression. Was Siyi avoiding the old master's birthday in order to make Mu Ling mad? Father. Gu Yi sat down. She scanned everyone present, but Feng Ruqing was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, a familiar figure appeared. How did Enchui get in here? Enchui should not have come to this feast. What concerned Gu Yi most was that Enchui had actually walked in after Chen Qingyan, as if she was Chen Qingjian's servant. Gu Shi frowned. His gaze swept past the crowd and fell upon Enchui's beautiful face. I don't know what Enchui is after. However, she can never make it. Hearing this, Gu Yi felt immensely relieved. She could never forget the way Enchui had begged her and wanted Gu Yi to help her to become Nan Xian's concubine. Gu Yi was not a fool. Naturally, she would never help someone who could upset Feng Ruqing. Manor Master, there must be some misunderstandings between the Mu family and the chief manor back then. As we were unable to meet you, we did not manage to clear out the misunderstanding between us. It's time we clear the air now, shall we? I really like young Lady Gu. That's why I have proposed an arranged marriage between Nan Xian and her. It would have been fine if Mu Ling did not mention the arranged marriage. Hearing this, Gu Shi's face darkened. Young Master Mu, my daughter has yet to step into the Mu family, but you have arranged so many concubines for Nan Xian. Do you want to bully my daughter to death, me for extra chapters? Oh. The rest of the clans must have been mistaken about this. I was arranging concubines for Mu Shi, not Mu Nan Xian, Mu Ling replied, ambiguously. Since the rest of the clans had called off the marriage, Mu Ling could just deny the things that Gu Shi had said. As long as Gu Shi agreed to let Gu Yi marry Nan Xian, Mu Ling would not arrange any other concubines for Nan Xian like what he had done previously. He would only get Nan Xian to take Qin Feier as his concubine when Gu Yi was pregnant. Gu Shi sneered. Gu Shi had never given the people of the Mu family a thought. Previously, he had accepted the arranged marriage because of Nan Xian. Perhaps the Qin family was of the same opinion. With the Qin family's power, they would never let Qin Fei be someone else's concubine. However, since they had accepted the marriage, it must be because of Nan Xian. Nan Xian was indeed a rare talent and was unrivaled in Tianshan manner. Sooner or later, he would dominate the world. Hence, the Qin family did not reject the arranged marriage, even if Qin Fei would only be Nan Xian's concubine. However, things would go completely different if the groom was Mu Shi. The Qin family would never have accepted the arranged marriage. Let's not talk about those who have called off the marriage. What about young Lady Qin? Don't tell me that young Lady Qin has agreed to be Mu Zai's concubine. Gu Shi broke into a smile. As soon as Gu Shi finished speaking, the faces of the people of the Qin family changed. Chapter 9:10. I agreed to this marriage too. Qin Fei's face was pale and her body was shaking. She held on to Wen Ye's hand tightly. Being Mu Zai's concubine. How many women had died in Mu Zai's hands? She would never want to be Mu Zai's wife, let alone being his concubine. After Mu Shi heard those words, he glanced vaguely at Qin Fei's face. He then subconsciously licked the corner of his lips. Qin Fei was not as pretty as Feng Ruqing in terms of beauty. However, Feng Ruqing was too tough. If it was Qin Fei who was weak and gentle, he might have gotten what he wanted, easily. Chen Qingyan walked slowly toward Mu Ling and patted his hand. She smiled softly. Manor Master Gu must be joking. We, the Mu family, do not have the right to decide young Lady Qin's marriage. I just like young Lady Qin and want to be closer to her. Manor Master Gu, please don't misunderstand. Brother Ling really wants Gu Yi to be married to Nan Xian. Smash! Gu Yi slammed on the table. She got up instantly. I won't marry the vixen, Nan Xian. You better stop dreaming about it. Vixen. Mu Ling's heart fluttered. The title, Vixen, seemed so familiar to him that made him more uneasy. Right. Under normal circumstances, the wife who was not loved would address the husband's beloved concubine as a vixen. Now Gu Yi had used these words to describe Nan Xian, which made Mu Ling feel baffled. Don't deny it. Gu Yi turned her head and sneered. I have rejected the marriage earlier because Qin Fei's maid said that Qin Fei was Nan Xian's lover. I felt deceived. How could my fiancé have another beloved? Hence, I got angry and rejected marriage. Everyone was gossiping. Was Qin Fei Nan Xian's beloved woman? Did Qin Fei's maid say that? Then, it must be true. The Mu family and the Qin family really wanted to form an alliance through marriage. However, why did Mu Ling still want Nan Xian to marry Gu Yi? Although everyone was stunned, Qin Fei's face was terribly pale. She did not expect Gu Yi to say it in public. Mu Ling's cold eyes glanced at Qin Fei angrily after hearing about that. Me for extra chapters. So that was it. It was the Qin family's fault that Gu Yi wanted to cancel the arranged marriage. Otherwise, the Mu family would have already formed the alliance for a long time ago. Young Lady Gu, you may have had a little misunderstanding. Mu Ling hesitated for a moment and said slowly. Gu Yi smiled sarcastically. You're right, I did misunderstand. At first, I believed in Qin Fei's words. Then, I let my father cancel the arranged marriage. After that, only I knew that I have misunderstood. Mu Ling let out a sigh of relief. Nonetheless, he still did not understand why Gu Yi was so heartless even when she knew she had misunderstood. Because, Gu Yi paused. Although I don't like Nan Xian now, and all the men are all bastards, Qin Fei is even worse than them. How could she become Nan Xian's beloved woman with her appearance? Gu Shi's lips trembled a few times. He felt like crying. Little devil, could you not scold me too when you are scolding Nansien? Your father is also a man. Mu Ling was clearly embarrassed as he felt ashamed in front of those people. Old Master Mu was also cheering on the side. Well done. You have scolded them rightly. All men are bastards and liars. Ha ha ha. Little girl, you are great. Are you married yet? What about my son, Qin Yin? What about letting him be your husband? Chapter 9:11. I agree to this marriage. Gu Shi's eyes lit up. Mu Qingyin was not bad, only that, his health was not that good. But it did not matter. If Mu Qingyin became the Gu family's son-in-law, he would let Qian Kun do his best to treat him even if it meant using all the medicine. As long as he could straighten his little devil. Father. Mu Qingyin sighed helplessly. I have poor health. Don't worry too much. Just don't drag the little girl down. Besides, I'm quite old now and young Lady Gu has not even reached the age of 18. Nonsense. The old man glared at him. You're only 16. Why not? Mu Qingyin felt uncomfortable. Father, when can you remember that I'm almost 30? Oh, you're almost 30 years old. Then, you better don't let the girl be wasted. The old man pursed his lips. Mu Qingyin felt a sword piercing through his heart, sad and helpless. No, no, no. Gu Shi stood up hurriedly. He then said, respectfully. Don't say that. Qingyin is only 29 years old. He is not old. He has a good personality and is also handsome. He and Gu Yi's child will be very good looking. I agree to this marriage. If Qingyin enters the chief manor, I will try my best to treat him at all costs. Even if he is not cured, I will try to extend his lifespan. That is not a big problem. The old master was like an old child. He laughed. Then, we will be in-laws. Little Qinjian's personality is really good. You don't have to worry. He is very different from his brother. I can guarantee you that little Qingyin will treat your girl very well. So that's the deal. Usually, fathers would not want their little sweetheart ones to stay away from them. But somehow, Gu Yi was not a normal little sweetheart. Gu Shi must have done something evil in his previous life that he had gotten a daughter who was eager to stay far away from him and would rather help an outsider than him. He could not scold and beat her. He could only let her go. More importantly, his daughter's sexual orientation was distorted. He had to straighten out his daughter so he could face his dead wife. Mu Qingyin was Nanxian's second uncle. Nanxian heard that Nan Sui and Mu Qingyin had a great relationship when she was still in the Mu family. So, if he was no longer in this world one day, there would be someone who could protect this little devil. Okay. The old master immediately agreed. After they are married, I'll let little Qingyin go to the chief manor. I don't have the money to buy him a yard. There are too many bad people in the Mu family. Other than that, I can't let the little girl be wronged. It doesn't matter. I will pay and buy a yard for them. Just let the two of them live their own lives. Of course, the yard must be bought next to the chief manor. Me for extra chapters. He did not want to let his dear daughter smash his jade appliances. However, he could not bear to let Gu Yi stay too far away from him. He was worried that Gu Yi might be bullied and no one would be able to protect her in time. Hence, staying next to the chief manor would be the best. Gu Yi was stunned as the marriage was for her. She looked at Gu Shi in shock. She apparently did not expect her father to marry her off so easily. Did he ask her opinion regarding the marriage? Mu Ling's face was also dark. The fiancé he had selected for Nan Xian was being taken away by his own brother. Manor Master Gu, Mu Ling turned his head and looked at Gu Shi. He was about to speak but was impatiently interrupted by Gu Shi. What are you going to say, young Master Mu? I am letting my daughter marry your brother. Do you not like it? Do you want your brother to be alone for his whole life? Are you still his brother?